Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. Welcome back to Mastodon Comics and Music. I fully realize that it's April 1st and this is not an April Fool's Day joke. Uh, I'm a little late to the party on my 2022 year in review. I got busy at the beginning of the year, and that's just the way life is. But here we go. Mastodon's 2022 year in review. I started out. Um, I set kind of a maybe somewhat ambitious goal, but not immensely ambitious um, goal of 12 books in 12 months. The idea was to get certain specific books in uh, in each month, or one for each month of the year. And I was somewhat successful in completing the list. Um, I had picked up other books along the way, and it was very fun in doing so. Um, I managed to tick off 8 of the books on this list, and so I, 75% of the goal I didn't think was too bad, considering economically and personally financially, um, things were kind of tight. So here we go. First book, I was fortunate at the beginning of the year to make a deal with Jesse Simon, none other than the grandson of Joe Simon, and I picked up an Adventure Comics book to close out my 2021 hunt list, and All Flash number 12. This is the first Thinker. Um, so right hot at the beginning of the year, I already knocked out my Golden Age book for the year, with All Flash number 12. I had a great deal. If you ever get the chance to make a deal with Jesse, he's great to deal with. I got a great price on both of those books. So definitely I couldn't ask for a better experience. Um, Happy to have this one in the collection. I'd love to know the story of this book's journey, um, and where the missing page is, because there is a missing page in the book. Um, so that is what it is. Next up, I'm going to shout out That Old Comic Smell. Um, I had Actually, let's do that. I had X Factor number 6, First Apocalypse, on my list, and it turned out he had a great copy of issue number 5, so I picked that up as well. Um, I love that cover. Great copy, great price for both of these books. Issue number 6. Happy to have that, both of those in my collection. Apocalypse is my favorite Marvel villain, I guess. Um, Next up, I acquired bunch of uh, a bunch of the next books off of the list, um, at Three Rivers Con in Pittsburgh. Great little con. They had it at the David Lawrence Convention Center this year. Turned out to be a better venue. There was a lot of people. It was a great con, great weekend. Mr. Miracle number 6. Picked that one up. Awesome price. Everywhere else I was trying to look, I just couldn't justify the price that was being asked. Um, it wasn't meshing up with fair market values at the time, and I don't. exactly know what fair market values are now, but I picked this book up for less than 15 bucks. Completely happy with that price. Everything else I was seeing was 30 or more. One was even, I think, 150. Now, to be fair, that one was an 8.0 slab, um, which I still couldn't justify that. Next up was Strange Tales number 168. I had this on my list because it is the final issue before they changed the title to just Doctor Strange. It became Doctor Strange with issue 169. So that was beginning of volume 1 of Doctor Strange. And I picked this one up because of that, and because I love the cover. Obviously that space influence in the background. Next up is my favorite Swamp Thing cover, issue number 7. I love this cover because it's Swamp Thing hanging off the side of the building, and you got Batman swinging in. So I'm going to shout out another member of the community, Batmite, who pointed out that this is the first meeting of Swamp Thing and Batman, which I was unaware of. I just like the cover. I love the banner at the top, the red matching with the yellow. Just a great one. Next up, I had Ghost Rider issue 21 from volume 1 on my hunt list because I'm a Jack Kirby fan, and this is one of the 2 issues that Jack Kirby did the covers for. He did issue 22, which I own, so I had this one on because I wanted to get both of them. Glad to pick this one up. Picked this one up for a great price. And finally, the last pickup from Three Rivers was Chamber of Darkness number 7. I had this one on the list because it is the first Wrightson work for Marvel. I didn't care what conditions. Condition always, low grade's better than no grade, as the saying goes. But I'm happy to have this one. It's very well loved. I'd love to know the story of this book as well. All the creases and the worn edges and the ticks, and I'd love to know the story. Here towards the end of the year, I made a trade with my LCS for this book specifically. My Joe from my local shop, he was happy to do the trade with me. A little background: I had won a contest on D-Runk's channel a few years back, and I won a 9/6 of Secret Wars 8. I was happy to win that one because I'm a fan of the black suit on Spidey, but I'm not a Spider-Man collector, so it didn't any longer fit my collection. So I decided if I couldn't make the deal with Joe, I was going to put it up for sale. But I made the deal. I was really happy with the deal because I walked away with 3 books aside from this one. There was a total of 3 books in the deal that I got. Couldn't have been happier. I felt secure in the deal I had gotten. Some of the other books to highlight. I'm going to highlight this one, Moon Knight, first solo story, Marvel Spotlight number 28. I have 29, and talking with Joe, I said, what about that Spotlight? He said, yeah, you want to throw that in too? I said, yeah, So I walked out of there with this one, a really nice copy of Spotlight 28. Happy to have that one. This next one is Jungle Gym, number 13. Another kind of giveaway that I had won on Night Tiger's channel. Go check out Night Tiger. Great guy. I like Mike. Hung out with him on some streams. And this is from Standard Comics. My first Good Girl art. Really liked. Glad to have this in the collection. Next up is a couple of books, Golden Age books that I picked up at Three Rivers Con from Jake's Comic Cave, I think is what he goes by. He's a seller that just goes to cons and sells at cons, mostly locally. But he always has fantastic deals at the cons, and I got these at a really great price. But Airboy, volume 6, number 7 from 1949, Airboy versus the Chemical Giant. And I suppose maybe this can be considered a Good Girl cover. I don't know. But I've acquired infatuation with Airboy, mostly because of the heap, and this has the heap's origin in it. So I was happy to add this into my collection, as well as this Airboy. This is volume 5, number 4. A little earlier, I think it's 1948. A nice Airboy action cover by Zolny. Dragon plane attacking their little skiff that they're on. Another one I suppose might be considered Good Girl art. Good Girl cover. And last, I just want to highlight this one because I ran across it, $10 at one of the older shops in Pittsburgh. I can't remember the name of the shop offhand, but it's been open for 50 years or more. And I just came across this one and saw that it came out in 1938, which to date is the oldest book in my collection. And that's kind of a subtle goal that I'm always kind of trying to push the edge of the oldest book in my collection. So this one replaced the Crack Comics issue that I had gotten, surpassing it by 3 or 4 years. So I'm happy to have this one in the collection. And that is the end of my year in review. It was a great year, despite finances. I do a lot of Kickstarters, and I've had to lay off the Kickstarters for a little while. But I think I'm at a point where I can back a couple. And there's one right now that just went live today that I'm eager to back. I've been following the artist Matt, or the creators Matt Kund and Gonzalo Aguirre for quite a while. So I've been anticipating that one. So, but I'm going to get back into it, just ever so slightly, and otherwise I'm going to concentrate on Sergeant Fury, trying to finish the upper end of that run this year, and maybe down the line, who knows, maybe I'll be able to top out a lot more of the earlier issues. I don't anticipate owning a copy of issue number 1 from that series, but who knows? We'll see. That's it for my year-end review. Look out for the next show. On cover to cover, we're going to be doing Rancids and Out Come the Wolves. And also, I will be having a coffee review video coming out here pretty soon. I'm going to start doing those. So we'll catch you in the funny pages. In the meantime, keep reading, keep collecting, and keep sharing.